So now you've slandered someone publicly. You are now a false witness. And not only that, what does that do to someone else out there that's listening to this? How would you know that the Lord wouldn't lead them to that ministry, but then somebody turned them on to your video where you're slandering that person and they get outside of the will of God and don't go and interact with that particular ministry? So I think that can be very dangerous. So I put, specifically don't do that. But I do want you to listen to this audio. And I know some people are going to recognize the voice and they'll know who it is. But that's not me trying to come against the individual themselves, because I hope the individual's well. I mean, I've listened to him for a while, and there's some good things that he says, but I believe he's wrong on this. So check this out.
That people in the word faith movement, prosperity gospel, name it and claim it movement use to get money. From Benny Hinn to Marilyn Hickey to Frederick Price to Joyce Meyer to Kenneth Copeland to John Hagee, Robert Tilton, all of them, all the way down to Paula White. They all claim that every so-called Christian has the personal divine power to recreate life's realities into exactly what he or she wants.
Okay, you've heard that video, and basically this gentleman is accusing these people of stealing the people's money and also using what's called, quote unquote, the prosperity gospel, word of faith teaching. And here's what happens. I'm going to talk about just this term, prosperity gospel, and then word of faith ministries. In order to slander a person, what you need to do is people would take a term and then attach it to individuals, different ministries, and so forth. And what people, the general population, get is that the person have talked negatively about the prosperity gospel and what it means. Because you mention that to a person and immediately a negative connotation comes into mind. It reminds me of, and you can agree with this, you may disagree, but this is what I saw. That when the term MAGA came up, right? Make America Great Again, where immediately people start relating that to racism, that's what it means, that we want to go back to the old days of America and bring back slavery, bring back Jim Crow, and so forth. Well, I don't believe that was the initial meaning of that term, but now it's been put in such a derogatory type of publicity that people now, when they hear that, they're insulted, they're offended, and so forth. I think the same thing happens when people start talking about prosperity gospel, word of faith ministries. So it's basically saying that's evil. That's no good. Without divulging or going into details, what do you mean by that? Because does the word prosperity, is it in the Bible? And if so, how is that word used? Well, I mentioned before that there's some doctrinal differences. And as a result of that, people are attacking other ministries because they don't believe like they believe on non-essential, fundamental Christian beliefs, such as I believe in speaking with other tongues. And I'm teaching over here that is garbage, is cessation, is not a part of the body of Christ. So therefore, anything you do that says that the gifts of the Spirit in operation today, that you see it as foolishness. And again, I admit and will state for sure there are some who are faking. Anytime people can make money off of something, they get caught up in greed and they will fake and say things, fake miracles. And I'm like, you obviously don't have the fear of the Lord in you, because you obviously don't believe that you're going to stand before God and give an account. You're basically lying on God. See, that's a false witness against God. That's the first thing that dealt with the earlier part of this video. However, being a false witness against your brother, you need to be very specific, because here's why. The Bible specifically tells you Do not bring an accusation against another elder without 2 or 3 witnesses. Why? Because they're out in public. Anybody can say anything. And the other thing is this, that if you're going to bring say that people are stealing the money, then you ought to report it, because that's illegal. And so here's what's really, what really should blow your mind. The gentleman that's talking about these people as if they're stealing God's money because they're wealthy, because they're rich, then he makes no connection as to how they become rich, that they just basically are taking advantage of other people. Well, the gentleman that's talking, by everybody's standard, he was rich. He was making close to $500,000 a year, owned 3 homes worth millions. I don't understand that, because to me, integrity would have said, if I'm going to come after other people about the monies that they have, and I know he's saying, well, they got theirs by false doctrine. How do you know that? Where's your witness that says that? And here's the thing. He listed several ministers. One of those ministers was my pastors for like almost 30, 40 years. I knew him. And he was a man of high integrity. And that was Fred Price.